What's up, guys? It's been a little bit. It's been just a smidge. Good to be talking to you guys again. Just chilling, having a good time here Sunday afternoon. And I figured I would make a video basically talking about, you know, the lack for the recent uploads. And then we'll get into something related with what's happening not just here in Miami, but obviously other cities in the country. And as it relates to writing, right? Now, the reason for my absentee when it comes to videos has mainly been down to two things, right? That is, first and foremost, we're kind of in line for a decent promotion at work, and so the last couple of weeks, I would say month and a half, almost 2 months, has been kind of like a steep learning curve, because upper management has been trying to teach me certain things when it comes to reports and when and how to do these reports and how to extrapolate the data in order to be able to get the information that we're looking for. And that takes a little bit, I mean, it takes quite a bit of brain power. It's something that I like at work. I'm not a big fan of going to work and do the same things over and over and over and over and over again. I like to look at data, analyze trends, things like that, and then make decisions based on those trends. So that's something that I like, and I feel like it's a good stepping stone for me. And so we've just been kind of putting in the work, which kind of extends to longer working hours, so less afternoons available to ride. And then secondly, we've kind of like gotten back into a groove. There's this game that I used to play when I was like in middle school called Old School RuneScape. If you're in the UK, you most definitely know what that is if you're like over 25, 26 years old. And if you're in the US, you maybe don't know what that is, but it's kind of like World of Warcraft, but different. It is MMO game from like early 2000s. And I've just been, this is old school vet, it's pretty nice. I've just been kind of like in there with some of the free time that I have, spending time with friends and stuff like that. So those are really the two big reasons as to why I haven't really been writing. I mean, I have been writing, but I haven't been recording it, because there just isn't much of a purpose or much of a topic to talk about. And most of the writing, to be honest, has been to and from work. Which, I mean, if you guys want to see, I'll be more than happy to do. And talk about maybe some current events that are happening during those days. But the other times when I go out writing, it's just more of a way to disconnect, get some sun, and just unwind a little bit, which recording kind of makes that a little bit difficult, because you have to think about what you're going to say and how to structure it and the topic and then all of that stuff. So it's definitely a more involved process when you go out recording versus when you go out just for a ride. And if any of you guys have tried doing that, you'll definitely know what I mean. Now, the other reason is a little bit more specific down here to South Florida, although there are parts of the country, I'm sure, that feel it just as much as we do down here. But this is kind of like, we're officially in hurricane season. And what tends to happen in hurricane season is the following. You wake up, let's say at 7:30, 8 a.m., you go to work. It's already maybe like 85, 86 degrees. It's lunchtime, you go to lunch, maybe it's about 91, 92, and then around 3 p.m., 3:30, you get these afternoon showers, because it just gets so hot, and the water around Miami is so hot that it just evaporates at an insane level. And what ends up happening, if you know about rain and stuff like that, meteorological events, it condenses, it goes inland because of high and low pressures, and then it ends up falling, obviously, as rain. And the rain here is not like, dude, it's heavy rain. And I mean, riding in any rain kind of sucks. So we get most days where it's anywhere between from 40 to 70% chance of rain, and anything above like 50 for me, it's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I also tend to look at the weather radar and see what kind of weather systems are around us. So I make a determination whether I want to go out and ride based on that. But for the most part, most days kind of look like this around this time. It's currently like 2 p.m. Yeah, 2:04. And it looks like this, where it's kind of just overcast, a chance of rain, maybe some possible thunderstorms. And this is really hot. I mean, I usually don't ride like this, but I'm wearing, obviously, my boots, riding boots, shorts, basically a tank top, and then my gloves. Not much protection, but trust me, when you're riding like this on a non-highway, when you're in the city riding, and you stopped for a little bit, and there's no wind, and you're just heat soaking on the bike, it is not pleasant at all. So I'm trying to get as much cooling as possible. And this is just what I feel comfortable at. Obviously, I know it's not as safe, but I'm aware of the risks, and I'm okay like taking this risk. I know if I fall right now, I'm gonna get some nasty fucking road rash, but I mean, I'm okay with that risk. I'm okay with taking that risk, and ultimately that's all that matters, is whether you're okay or not with taking that risk. But to go back to the point, it's just getting really, really hot in summer down here in South Florida. We have days where, yes, it's around 91, 92, but because of the humidity that is down here, it more feels like 10 degrees more. So if it's 90, it feels like it's 100, and if it's 91, 92, it feels like it's 101, 102. Obviously, you guys know how to do some math. But that's the problem, really. Where it just kind of stops me from riding, because it's just not pleasant. I mean, you come back and you have like tremendous levels of swamp ass that you just need to take 3 or 4 showers in cold water just to be able to feel somewhat clean. Man, when people drift like that, I know they're on the phone for sure. Like, they drift on the lane, like, you know they're on the phone. It's so obvious. Cops don't enforce that, though. I just like thinking about it now, going on a tangent, like, cops don't really enforce people driving on their phone, man. Because if I was a cop, dude, I'll be the worst cop. I'll be giving tickets left and right for people just being dumb, honestly. Like, I wouldn't give tickets. Like, if you're speeding like 10, 12 over, like, bro, by all means, go ahead. It's no big deal. But if you're speeding it on your phone, I'm stopping you not for the speeding, but because you're on your phone. I feel like on your phone is so much more dangerous than speeding. Obviously, there are caveats. There's more nuance to that. It's not as simple as that. But back to the point, it just gets really hot down here, man. And there are other places in the country that feel that. I mean, obviously in the Southwest, places like Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, you know, things like that. I just hit that car with a freaking mirror. A Ducati. The Ducati, man, is definitely riding all gear. We're gonna pull the mirrors in because we can't really lane split like that. But what was I saying? Yeah, it gets really hot. It gets really hot, and because it's so humid, like, your body isn't able to cool off. Like, there's this effect, which is really what I kind of wanted to talk about. There's this effect where it's like wet cloth temperature, right? Which is different from dry heat, because dry heat, like, your sweat evaporates off your skin and then your body just keeps sweating to try to cool itself down. But when it's humid, your body can't really get rid of that sweat, can't create more sweat, because it's not dry enough for that sweat to evaporate off your skin. So people actually end up passing out heat strokes and heat related events way more in humid climates than what they do in like just straight hot desert climates, believe it or not. And it's what I kind of wanted to talk about, like, take a look at the scenery around us now, because it's kind of like what I wanted to talk about really, which is temperature management. And here in the city, like, you would think that heat, it doesn't matter whether you're affluent or not. You would think that heat affects everyone the same, but it's not really like that. This is very common down here in the suburbs, where you just have a lot of parking lots filled with shopping centers, and then all of a sudden when we cross your 57th, you notice a big difference. We're gonna take that yellow, F that. You'll notice something really different. All of a sudden, there's trees literally everywhere. As far as you can see, there's just vegetation, trees everywhere, grass everywhere, bushes everywhere. And believe it or not, that plays a huge role in the temperature around you. Obviously, when you don't have that, the pavement, yes, gets hotter because there's no shade on it. But then that means that the heat closer to the ground is way hotter than like ambient air temperature. So like, let's say if you're a couple of feet off the ground, it's probably hotter than the ambient air temperature of, let's say, 105. Why? Because the heat soaks, it gets hotter, the asphalt is just hotter, so it radiates that heat up, and so you feel it. But if you see here, there is a ton of shade, especially parts like this. Like, there's just vegetation